What is going on, guys? My name is Bill Matthews from the BassinBill96 YouTube channel, and in today's video we have got our Mystery Tackle Box Pro Box right here, and this thing is absolutely jam-packed full of baits. And today we are going to be doing a Mystery Tackle Box Slam, trying to catch a fish on every single bait in this box. So stick around, stay tuned. We're going to break down what is inside of this, and we are about to get to fishing. So we're going to bust out this box, show you guys a little bit of what we're working with today, but we'll probably dive into greater detail as we tie these baits on and we're catching fish and stuff like that. But first things first, we'll give you guys a sneak peek. We got the Liquid Mayhem little paddle tail swim baits right there. We have got the Googan Squad gridiron jig. This is what I call my personal best bass on. Awesome football jig. We have got another awesome fall bait right here, the 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶 crankbait, little silent version right there. We got some Eagle Claw laser sharp wide gap worm hooks. We have got the D-Blade Advantage spinnerbait. We have got some Pro Series X Zone little finesse slammer, little drop shot bait right there. And then last but not least, we have got the Mustad Scatter Shad bladed jig. And so pretty awesome fall box. I think that today we're going to start out with that little Advantage D-Blade spinnerbait made by Dobbins right there. And like I said, we'll kind of dive into deeper detail as we kind of tie all these lures on and start catching some fish. But first things first, we want to cover some water. We're going to tie in the spinnerbait and start fishing this little pocket right here. Try to find the first bass of the day. So we are rigged up, first bait of the day, throwing that little Dobbins spinnerbait. And like I said, we're going to be covering some water, fishing the back of this pocket. There's some pads, there's some submergent vegetation, and hopefully there's going to be some bass back here as well. But looking for the first bite of the day, very first cast, and we have like 8 baits to knock out, guys. It's going to be a heck of a slam, so stick around, stay tuned. We're going to be catching a lot of bass, hopefully. Got him. First one on that little Dobbins spinnerbait. Not a big one, but that is going to be the first bass of the slam right there. Literally just fishing this little inner pocket right here. There's a lot of grass, and we were just slow rolling that thing. She absolutely crushed it. First bass of the day. Little like 10, 11 incher. Nothing to write home about. All right, first bait knocked out. We got to find where the heck did I put the Mystery Tackle Box. Here she is. We've got to get bait number 2, and I think that we're going to go with that little 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶 crankbait right there. That little XB1DD. Dives 7 to 8 feet. It's a silent crankbait. And since it is fall time, they're feeding on a lot of these shad. This should be pretty money. Like, it only took us about 5 minutes to catch one on that spinnerbait right there. So crankbait's going to be the next one up, and once again, should not be too hard, but going for fish number 2, and we still have a lot of baits left though. Okay, so picking up right where we left off, I think that this is going to be the easiest bait in the box to catch a fish on. I could be wrong, but it is literally the perfect conditions. We got a lot of wind, we got a little bit of sun, and it is fall time. They're chasing bait fish around. This should be the move. The little 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶's crankbait, we should catch one on this very, very quick, but I could be wrong. This could be very difficult, but we're going for fish number 2, and I'm thinking that right in this pocket, we're about to bust one really, really fast for y'all. Okay, so the first spot wasn't a complete bust. We caught that one on the spinnerbait, but did not get a bite on this crankbait right here. And like I said, I thought this was going to be super easy, but we're going to move on to spot number 2, trying to find bass number 2 of the day. And we still got so many baits to knock out. Got a lot to do, a lot of work to do. There he is. There he is, dude. There's an awesome grass pile right there. Come on, baby. Oh, that's a good one. That's a freaking good one on that 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶's crankbait. Stay pinned up. Stay pinned up. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Fish number 2 in the freaking net. Let's go. On that 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶's crankbait. Let's freaking go. Bait number 2 of the MTB Slam is knocked out right there. Literally the cast before, we just lost a fish, a small one, and made the same exact cast. Kind of ripped this thing right out of some grass, and that fish straight slacklined it. That is what you want to see right there. 2 bites back to back. And we're going to be moving on to bait number 3 right here in just a second. This thing is all tangled up in the net. Yes, sir. That's a nice sized bass right there. All right. Well, it took a little bit longer than I was anticipating, but I told you guys this crankbait was going to be a move. Literally back-to-back cast right when we got in the right spot. Probably some bait fish down there sitting in that grass, and a nice solid like 2.5 pounder on that little crank. Beautiful like 16, 17 inch largemouth bass. And we're going to be moving on to the next bait and trying to knock this slam out. Awesome fish. We're gonna get that chunk back in the water, and I think that we're gonna stick with this moving bait pattern. That's usually what the go-to is in the fall. And we caught one on the spinnerbait, one on the crankbait pretty quickly, and we do have that chatterbait. So I think that we're gonna try to do the chatterbait next, and then I don't know exactly what we're gonna do for these other baits, these bottom style baits. But we're gonna probably be able to catch on this pretty quick. So we're gonna bust out this little 𝗙𝗏𝗡 bladed jig right here. Try to get the next one in the freaking boat. So we have got that chatterbait rigged up. We're kind of sitting in that exact same spot, lined up with that grass patch, and we are gonna try to get another fish right here. There he is. There he is. Doesn't feel very big. Oh, it's a dink. It's a freaking dink on that little mustad chatterbait. Pretty much a textbook spot right here, right in the corner. Got a lot of wind blowing back in here. But throwing that little mustad chatterbait, all of our reaction baits are now knocked out. So we got to worry about the jig, the swim bait, and that drop shot bait as well. But smallest bass of the day, right after the biggest one of the day, right there going back in the water on that little mustad chatterbait with that little bow spawn exo swim. So moving on to bait number 4. Fish number 4, bait number 4. We got to start knocking out some more of these baits so we can complete this slam right here, guys. So bait number 3 is knocked out, and we are going to be moving on to, I don't know. I actually don't know. So we got the hooks, which I think I might try to pair up with those swim baits. I'm not sure yet. I don't really know if I want to throw that weightless. It seems like they're down a little bit in the water column. So we might pair those up. I'm not really 100% positive. We got the gridiron jig, and then we also could throw this on a drop shot. I think that we're going to try to go with the jig. I don't know how this is going to go. They're definitely relating to bait fish right now this fall. And so this might be a little bit of a struggle, but we're going to try to catch her on the jig first, and then we're going to get into those next baits right there. So she is looking absolutely choice with that little Biospawn Exopod as the trailer. And we're actually going to head back to where I had those back-to-back bites on the crankbait and try to throw this in the little grass patch, because I think there might be a little wad of them. But sorry for the noise too. There's some sort of construction going on over here. I don't know how distracting that is or not, but gonna roll up on that grass patch and try to get fish number 4 on this little jig. Little midday update. It's pretty windy outside. We fished that point where we caught the crankbait fish, not a single bite on the jig. So we've made our way back to a different section of the lake, and we're gonna try to skip that jig around some docks, see if we could get bit that way. Got him on the freaking gridiron. Finally, dude. Not a big one, but that is fish number 4 of the challenge right there. And not going to get a ton of bites on bottom baits this time of year, so we will take that one, even though it's a little bit of a dink. Been throwing this jig for a good 20-30 minutes, and that is the only bite that we've got so far. But we are down to the last 2 baits right here. And we have got, like I said, that little drop shot bait, and then we have got these swim baits, which I think I'm going to pair up with these hooks. But we're going to do the drop shot first, because I think that one should be decently easy to get them on, and try to get the second to last bait knocked out. But finally got one, little gridiron jig, and we are moving on to the next bait. And I'm sorry for the weird whispering, but there were some people by me and I felt really awkward talking to myself out here. But all right, let's tie on these little Pro Series X-Zone finesse slammer. Like I said, it's another bottom bait, so it might be a little bit difficult, but the fact that it's kind of like a little bait fish, little goby profile, I think that we should be able to get bit on this pretty easy. Got one on that little finesse slammer. Finally, dude. Not a very big fish, but that is the second to last bait. And I actually have 2 ideas to make this video a little bit better, since we are kind of on like a little dink fest so far. We caught that one nice one on the crankbait, but we're gonna get that fish back in the water here, and I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. Here's the idea. Since it's kind of turning into a dink fest, and I know you guys don't want to see me catch a bunch of 10-inch bass, you guys know that we only have 2 things left. We got these little Mayhem swim baits, and we have the Eagle Claw 4-aught hooks. And instead of me putting these on here, taking like an hour and maybe catching like a 10-inch bass, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these swim baits, we're gonna put this on the back of a swim jig and try to catch a bigger bass for y'all. And we'll just save these for another time. You guys can throw these with the Texas rig, something like that. They're really just not eating bottom baits, and this is kind of like a secondary item in the box, so not super important. So we're gonna try to knock out the very last bait, try to get a bigger bass, and hopefully stick like a 2 or 3 pounder again on the swim bait on the back of a swim jig. But the other preposition I have for you guys is we're probably gonna go back out to the main lake and throw that crankbait around. Since I told you guys, I figured that was gonna be the deal, and we really haven't caught very many big fish. So we're gonna go back out there, try to catch a few more, and try to catch some bigger ones after we complete the slam. But first things first, one more bait to knock out, and then we're gonna go do that. So stick around, stay tuned. Gonna try to get on some bigger fish for y'all. Got him on the swim jig. Well, that theory did not pan out very well. We only threw this for about 5 minutes and we did not get a bigger bite. That is the MTB Slam, not the fish that we were looking to finish on right there. But like I said, stick around because we're not gonna end the video quite yet. We're gonna go back out to the main lake, throw that crankbait around, see if we can get a little bit bigger bite for y'all. Well, I am not gonna lie, that is not what I was expecting to happen. I was pretty sure that we were gonna be able to come out here to the main lake and absolutely smash them on that 𝗙𝗍𝗋𝗶𝗋 crankbait, but we just threw this thing for like a solid hour and did not get another bite. We went back to back on this thing, caught the biggest fish of the day. We went back to that exact same spot and did not get a sniff. But thank you guys so much for watching. We did complete the MTB Slam, caught a bass on every single bait in the box. Huge shout out to Mystery Tackle Box for letting me take over the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one.